Hello, everyone. Welcome to this 60 literary and jury charge. I'm going to start off with an article on budgets. Okay. You're going to hear the word emergency, which you can use the brief initial M, final J. Period of time is going to be initial P, final FT. That's one of my favorite phrases. Period of time, initial P, final FT. Okay, ready? A budget is a statement of monetary objectives for a specified period of time. Every business, household, and agency finds planning easier when a budget is prepared. An annual budget should be broken down into months or quarters to readily allow for forecasting and planning. The budget is a tool for controlling expenditures and assessing management performance. A well-planned budget will allow for small changes in economic factors and will have built-in alternatives in the case of emergency changes. Most businesses and agencies operate within the constraints of a budget. Budgeting promotes planning on the part of management and allows performance comparisons. A budget is an important planning tool for every business and household as well. Okay. I've got an article here on where the heart is. Okay, here we go. A brave and dear friend of mine adopted a troubled 15-year-old girl whose life had been one long saga of abandonment and insecurity. As the child's 16th birthday approached, my friend wondered how to make it a special, sweet 16th without appearing to buy her new daughter's excuse me, sorry about that. Without appearing to buy her new daughter's love. When the big day finally arrived, the first present the birthday girl opened was a simple tin canister, hand painted with flowers and the words, "One for each year I missed." Inside were 15 small gifts, individually wrapped and numbered. Each was appropriate to an age beginning with a baby's tiny music box and ending with a box of scented stationery. It was a moment of healing for this new family as the once angry, sullen child opened each small token with quiet wonderment and joy. No one had to worry about the proper thing to say. Both the pain of the past and the hope for the future were acknowledged. That was a neat article. Sorry about this. I have allergies today. Okay, I'm going to give you some legal terms and then I will read you the paragraph, okay? You're going to hear homicide, parole, manslaughter, imprisonment, eligible, involuntary, justifiable, reprieve, premeditated, deliberate, aforethought, conviction, murder, malice, pardon. Okay, here's your paragraph. Homicide is the killing of a human being. Justifiable homicide is a killing in self-defense. Murder is the unlawful killing of a person with malice aforethought. Murder in the first degree or murder one is a willful, deliberate, or premeditated killing. Manslaughter is the killing of another without malice aforethought. There are two classes of manslaughter: voluntary and involuntary. The outcome of a criminal trial may be a conviction. At the close of a criminal trial, the convicted individual may be sentenced to imprisonment. The prisoner may be eligible for a parole, a reprieve, or a pardon. And reprieve just means to cancel something out. All right. Now, I want to just really encourage you to keep a notebook next to you. And if I say a word that maybe you have a hard time writing, write it down and then later on go through those words and practice those. So when you hear them again, it doesn't cause you to falter or stumble or even hesitate. Okay, so I always call it my trouble book, and I go through those, and once I feel like I've mastered them, I cross them off, and then I've always got new words to add to it. Okay, all right. Moving right along, I'm going to read an article to you on the planets. Okay, you're going to hear orbit, Mercury, Pluto, Mars, Uranus, Venus, Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, celestial, or celestial, I should say, celestial, exploration, atmosphere, and poisonous. All right, here's your article. The Earth and the other planets move in orbit around the sun. Because the planets are so close, they can be seen easily. They appear to wander back and forth from east to west and from west to east. When a planet is to the east of the sun, it sets in the evening just after the sunset. When it travels to the west of the sun, we can see it in the morning just prior to sunrise. Those planets that are nearest to the sun have the smallest orbit. They include Mercury and Venus. Venus is the brightest of the planets. Mars, nicknamed the Red Planet, is closest to the Earth and is inhabited by a low order of plant life. Jupiter and Saturn are very large, with atmospheres composed of gases which are poisonous to man. Neptune, Uranus, and Pluto are farthest away from the Earth, and very little is known about their composition. In recent years, space exploration has enabled man to discover and learn more about the composition, atmosphere, and forms of life of their closest celestial neighbors. Okay. I've got some legal opinion for you. You're going to hear prosecutor, which is initial PR, final R, defendant, DEFT, evidence, EFD. Okay. All right, here we go. The prosecutor commenced this action in May by filing a criminal complaint. This document charged the defendant, Paul Cross, with one count of party to the crime of burglary, with one count of party to the crime of theft. The following month, the state filed an information which charged the defendant with these same two crimes. the defendant was arraigned on June 19th. At that time, he entered a plea of not guilty to both charges. Before the trial, the prosecutor became aware that he would not be able to make out a case against Paul Cross under the statute that refers to party to a crime. And so the next month, he filed a new information under a different statute, even though the new one cited a different statute. It continued to charge the defendant with the same 2 counts and continued to rely on the theory of party to a crime as to each count. Before the start of the trial, defense counsel objected to going forward on the new information without a new arraignment. As a result, the state withdrew the new information and the trial went forward on the old one. Trial was held to the court without a jury. At the conclusion of the evidence, the judge found the defendant guilty on both counts. 2 issues are involved in this trial on this appeal. First, did the prosecutor waive his reliance on the theory of party to a crime by withdrawing the new information? Second, if he did not waive his theory, was the evidence that he presented at trial enough to sustain both convictions? Okay, there's more, but I'm going to stop there. I'll give you one more article before we conclude this class. This is called Good Neighbor Award, okay, for goodness above and beyond the call of duty. Okay, here we go. Ready? For the past 4 years, my husband, Walt Niekirk, has been celebrating his birthday by making and giving away rocking horses to hyperactive and arthritic children. The rocking horse he designed originally for a slightly hyperactive grandson's 2nd birthday doesn't tip over. When Walt discovered that the horse was good therapy for hyperactive children, he began donating them to institutions to help kids who weren't as fortunate as those in his own family. The first gifts went to the Ronald McDonald House, the pediatrics unit of Johns Hopkins Hospital, and the Kennedy Institute for Handicapped Children, all in Baltimore. Walt began receiving letters of endorsement from the public relations departments of these places, quoting medical personnel, all impressed with the safety of Walt's motion toy. Soon after, Walt donated a rocking horse to a friend's 3-year-old daughter who suffered from juvenile arthritis. The little girl's physical therapist thought it was the best thing for her, prompting Walt to contact the Arthritis Foundation of Hagerstown, Maryland. Now he builds 2 sizes of the rocking horse and gives them to arthritic children whose names are supplied by the foundation. Childhood should be happy, Walt explains. When little kids hurt, they're not happy. If my horses can make them smile and help them physically, then it's worth it. Inspiring article. Okay, well, you have a wonderful day. That concludes our 60 literary and jury charge. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.